Hey guys, it's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I give you something to meditate on or journal about. Today, I'd like you to think about this. If you need to choose between optimism and pessimism, between beautiful or ugly, between peace or angst, which one do you choose? Which stories do you want to cling to? Now, when I ask you that question, it's like the most basic, fundamental way to simplify it, right? So, given the option, basically, do you choose good or do you choose bad? Well, you choose good, of course. Optimism and pessimism? We choose optimism. Beautiful or ugly? We pick beautiful. Peace or angst? Peace, of course. So we choose the more positive of the outcomes when I give you no other information. And yet every single day, multiple times a day even, we choose to cling to the bad, even when, just like that, we have no other information. You see someone you know and they don't say hi. Bitch, I knew she hated me. I swear, I have never been anything but nice to her, but she thinks she is just so much better than I am. I know that they talk about me, but I don't know why they think I'm such a bad mom. I mean, maybe it's just because she thinks I don't have as nice of a car or a house as she does. And I'm so fat. Of course, she doesn't want to be seen talking to me. I'd probably ruin her image. Who is she to think that she's so much better than me? I mean, look at her. Her outfit is ugly. And she is always off playing tennis, which is probably why her kids are so bad. She totally doesn't prioritize them. Totally selfish. I mean, why even have kids if you're not going to put them first? And here she is thinking she is better than me? Bitch. Wow. That was a journey, right? Or maybe she was distracted. Or maybe she didn't recognize you out in the wild. Or maybe, just maybe, she thinks you don't like her. I mean, I can't imagine why. You're clearly giving off super good vibes. Or maybe she didn't see you because she only has one contact in and it is not even her correct prescription, but her new ones haven't arrived yet. Oh, that one's me at least. Okay, you get an email from a coworker asking for clarifications. God, he is so stupid and helpless. He just can't manage anything on his own. I need to hold his hand every step of the way. It was in the original message that I sent. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Why can't I clearly say what I mean? I am super distracted at work. I know I'm just working on so many different projects. There is so much expected of me. I'm spread too thin. Of course, I'm not going to be clear on everything that I write, but I'm making so many mistakes lately. I know that everyone is just counting down the days until I get fired because I'm so incompetent. And then what am I going to do? I was lucky to even have this job. It's not like I deserve it. Everyone probably talks about me and how much they can't believe I'm the one in charge of this. I mean, I don't even think I should be in charge of this. And now he's had to ask what I meant. And I'm sure he CC'd everyone else to just point out how incompetent I am. He's always had it out for me. It has to be intentional because there is no way that he is this stupid. Or maybe he is. He's just so needy. Why are men so helpless sometimes? Well, that one was quite a journey too. Or maybe he just wanted to verify he was on the right page. Or maybe he wanted to confirm his role. Or maybe he was concerned that he wasn't doing the right thing. But we spiral. We assume the worst. We often have very little information to go on, and yet we choose pessimism. We choose negativity. We choose angst. We don't have all of the information, and yet we know with certainty it must be bad. We look in the mirror. But why? We've already decided we look old. We try on an outfit, but we knew we would look fat in it before we even started. We know that they're going to say no, or maybe they will give me a pity yes before I even ask if they're available to come. So we don't. Why would I bother trying tennis or yoga or golf? I'm just going to look stupid because everyone else there is going to be so much better than I am, or so much more coordinated or more fit. It doesn't matter the situation we encounter or the person we face, or if anyone else is even involved besides us. Way too often, we choose the negative narrative. We choose the one that ends with us being unliked or unqualified or unattractive. Or we spiral the story so much that we end up placing thoughts or negative intentions into someone else's head. I mean, they're not actually in that other person's head. Technically, they're in our head, but we've made up that they're in their head. But they're really our own insecurities that we're just projecting onto them. But what if we didn't do this? What if instead we realized that we can control so much of our lives, so much more of our lives than we think we can, so much more of our interactions every single day than we imagine we're actually in control of? We control so much of our world, the world around us, simply because we control our thoughts. We control our perceptions. We make things as they are simply because we've already decided in our heads that's how they are. It's like those old choose your own adventure books. When someone says this, do you want to respond like A or do you want to respond like B? When someone sends an email with this particular tone, do you assume A or do you assume B? When you look in the mirror, do you think A or do you think B? We are constantly in control of our thoughts, and so often our reality is constructed purely by these thoughts. And once you recognize this, it is really powerful. You are honestly creating the world around you. You're making people think things. You are forming your opportunities just by believing. So why not choose good? You get to make the choice. Why choose angst? Why not choose peace instead? Why not pick happy? When someone says something or does something, you get to choose the frame that you place around that event. So instead of jumping to the narrative that puts the most negative frame around it, why not consider at least the frame that puts a positive one around it? When you look in the mirror, why not think about the part of you that you think is beautiful instead of focusing on the part that you hate the most? When you get feedback at work, why not see it as helpful rather than critical? When your kids are snappy after school, why not see it as they're drained from a long day instead of they're so disrespectful? When your partner is distracted, why not see it as he's got a lot on his mind rather than he just doesn't love me anymore? Now, I'm not saying those negatives are never true. I mean, I'm not telling you, oh, just walk around with rose-colored glasses, just bury your head in the sand. No, I am realistic too. I know that things aren't always sunshine and rainbows, but I also know that it's not always thunderstorms. And I know that as a collective, we do have the tendency to jump to the negative. And we cannot control the world. We can't take away all the negative. But by only focusing on the negative, we can take away all of the positive. I'll say that one again. We cannot control the world. We cannot take away all of the negative in our worlds. But by only focusing on the negative, we most definitely can take away all of the positive. So instead, let's just start by clinging to the good, assuming the best, jumping to the best possible scenario instead of the worst. I mean, if it is in fact the worst, it'll become clear. But by assuming the worst out of people and out of situations, it is sure to actually be the worst. So choose peace instead. Yes, sometimes it will actually, in fact, turn out to be angst. But you'll be pleasantly surprised at how often it's actually not. How often we take ourselves down this negative path for absolutely no reason. So today, think about if you need to choose between optimism and pessimism, between beautiful or ugly, between peace or angst, which would you choose? Which stories do you want to cling to? Choose your own adventure and choose the good. Thank you so much for listening today and always. Please follow me on socials. On Facebook, it's Reframing Me, and join the Facebook group Reframing Me, the podcast community. On TikTok and Instagram, it's Reframing Me. Until next time, be well and communicate.